Hello, everybody. It's me, Baby Gabe, Cabbage Patch. Um, First off, I want to thank everybody for being a part of the service. Uh, whether you are watching live stream or at the services, thank you for honoring my Uncle Martin. I would also like to thank my Auntie Yvonne and the boys for allowing me the opportunity to share my life experiences I have with my uncle. I would also like to add my deepest condolences to Auntie Yvonne and the boys. Um, I know they may be hearing this a lot often, but coming from someone who has recently experienced heavy loss, this is from one broken heart to another. My Uncle Martin changed my life. I will share with you the process of that change and how his mind, energy, and spirit will continue far after he's left this world. My most vivid memories all began in one area, three locations: Grandma and Grandpa's house, Young's Park, and Nevada Street. Grandma and Grandpa's house is where I feel our family would let go of the social constructs and just be a family. It was full of laughs, usually at each other's expense, good food, and almost seemed like a therapy session. You know, somebody always has some drama going on, even though nobody was yet qualified yet to give a Dr. Phil session. But nonetheless, we looked out for each other, and it was genuine and from the heart. My uncle always seemed to be the center of all of that. He led the way in our laughter with a laugh that all of us would recognize and never forget, and always seemed to have something witty to add to whatever the subject may have been. He gave advice from his heart, even if it wasn't what the other person always wanted to hear, but he said it. Some of my greatest childhood memories were the Thanksgiving, Christmas football games that took place in the street of in front of Grandma and Grandpa's house. Yes, in the middle of that busy street, be yelling "car" all the darn time. Um, and at Young's Park. To me, that was more than just a pickup football game. It was a rite of passage. And my Uncle Martin was the commissioner. He was the commish. I remember being too small and skinny to get many passes thrown my way, no matter how open I was. But I always remember wanting to prove myself to my Uncle Martin each year. Until finally, I think I intercepted one of Uncle Tony's overthrows or something. And and eventually he began to look my way and would throw to me once in a while. Uh, Even though it usually led to me being smashed by one of my cousins, Jawad. It was scary, but I handled it because in my mind, my uncle was telling me that he believed in me, and I didn't want to disappoint. To my uncles and cousins listening right now, hey, I say we find a way to have another game, in his honor. Be sore for a few weeks, but I say we do it. The next location was Nevada Street. I remember that house so well. It had a pool table and a slot machine because I mean it was Nevada Street, of course. I mean he even had the street signs on the wall. Was that even legal? Anyway, I remember the backyard and all the parties we would have there. Um, my Uncle Martin, being who he was, wouldn't just let us run wild. If we wanted to play pool, we had to learn the proper etiquette and basic rules of the game. He taught us how to appreciate the geometry that went into it. Look, baby Gabe, it's all math. My uncle changed my life. I remember there was a time, fourth, fifth grade, after my parents' divorce, and I went into a rebellious stage. I acted out, stopped taking school seriously. Many teachers would say I worked harder and not doing good than I did trying to do good. Anyway, one day in fifth grade, I made a terrible choice when me and my friends decided to break windows at our school, which was not very thought out, obviously, because we got caught. But it was a bad choice. I'm not sure if my mom asked my uncle to talk to me or not, but um, but he learned about it. And when we went to his house a few days later, he asked um, me if he said he needed to talk to me in his office. So I remember walking in there, sitting down, as he looked at me across his desk. This man was destined to be a principal, by the way. Anyway, he asked me flat out, "What's going on?" I told him my story, and he switched from the funny quarterback uncle to a serious mentor. He explained to me how I was heading in the wrong direction and that I was a better person than that. He showed me all the books he had to read for college and how there were many times he didn't want to study and do homework, but he did it because self discipline was the key to success. He orchestrated the conversation in a way that my young mind stayed interested and understood his message. Again, this man was destined to be a darn principal, an educator. We then made an agreement that if I got honor roll, he would take me to Ruidoso. I left that office so motivated. I mean, I knew one day I wanted to be like my Uncle Martin. I mean, he had CDs that gave you 90 minutes of internet. I mean, how cool was that? I went back to school with a new mindset. And I am happy to say, by tooth and nail, I made honor roll that year. Although I didn't maintain that positive energy much after that. And he still owes me a trip that I will take him up on one day. But he showed me what I can accomplish when I put my mind to something and when I am determined to achieve. Soon after, he had little Martine, and I knew he would guide his children in the right direction. And even though I would take the rough road after that, as I matured, that message he put in my subconscious resurfaced. And that is what drives me every day as a student, as a father, and as a leader, trying to be just like my uncle. Everything he did, he thought through. He thought it through and made it happen. I mean, even his bezels were legendary. But seriously, he did. And honestly, that is why he deserved the true love the universe gave him. He and my auntie being together since they were teenagers. I mean, who does that? Auntie Yvonne, please know that we cannot imagine your heartbreak. And I'm sure it may be hard to accept this now, but you too were blessed with an amazing man for so much of your life. And even though he was taken from us on earth, you have experienced true love longer than most people can say in their lifetime. And I hope you know you are Auntie Yvonne and one of the sisters, whether you like it or not. Most recently, we mostly stayed connected um, through our football trash talking thread, which as heated as it would get, it was strangely therapeutic, and that it always took me back to the days at Grandma and Grandpa's where we would argue about sports and bash each other's teams, especially the Cowboys. Ew. Um, but when emotions flew too high, which they did, um, Uncle Martin would bring us all back. Easy, boys. Although I secretly rooted for the Rams, I wouldn't tell him because I felt he wanted us to continue our routine as normal as possible. But darn it, go Rams. My uncle changed my life. He inspired me to not only work towards an education and pushing myself beyond measure to be a good father, student, and leader, even though none of us are perfect. But he inspired me to helping me understand the importance of a strong, structured family, which led me to creating my nonprofit, um, Buds. I've been working on for many years that is providing many with the basic knowledge and structures and disciplines that my uncle taught me, and that I hope to spread his wisdom and spirit to men and families all across New Mexico and beyond. And that is how I intend to carry my uncle's spirit long after today, and even after I'm gone. In closing, I just want to tell his boys, we are here for you. Even though you all may begin your adult journeys, understand that times will be hard, and there are going to be ups and downs and sides to side in this world, but stay focused on your goals and talk to your dad every time you need to. He will talk back. Even if it's his words that are stored in your memory bank, he is with you. Dad angels always are. Thank you all so much. God bless our family. And God bless you, Uncle Martin.